Hello everyone, happy Friday. It is Sharon Wilson, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Australia. I hope you're going well. stampinwithsharon.com.au. It is Friday the 17th of October 2025 and we are heading closer and closer to Christmas, if you haven't realised that already. Christmas is coming up very, very quickly. That's what, next week it's going to be 2 months. Woo. 2 months till Christmas Day. That's a bit scary. There's so much to do in that time. Lots of Christmas cards to make, lots of presents to purchase and all that sort of stuff. So I hope you're going well. I was trying something yesterday. I was trying to get a live stream going for on YouTube, but my system doesn't seem to be wanting to work today. I've tried it a few times this morning and it's like, why is it not working now? It was working last night. Now it's just, no, doesn't want to work. Anyway, what is happening at the moment? So Stampin' Up, they have got their amazing offer for joining, their amazing joint offer at the moment, which is if you spend the usual $169 to join Stampin' Up as a demonstrator, you get to $344 worth of product within your starter kit to choose. Choose your own starter kit. However, if you don't really want the $344 worth of product, you can actually spend $60 and get $235 worth of product. So that's the usual amount that you would normally get, but for a very low price of $60. And that one, I just like, for me, it's like, if you got a order of like $60, why would you not just join and then you can get a discount going forward of 20 to 25%, depending on where you're at. Like straight away you get 20% discount on all those amazing Stampin' Up! Products that you can get. So for me, I just go, it's a no-brainer. Why would you not? Let me just get myself a bit organized over here. Anyway, yeah, that should be okay. So today, what have I got? So next week I've got my retreat from next Friday through to Sunday. So that's fully booked. I do still have a few retreat at home boxes available. So I think I've got three retreat at home boxes available if anyone would like it. It's $145 shipped to your door, and you get well over that in product and projects to create and stuff. So I think there's actually going to be possibly about 12 make and takes to do. Obviously you won't get the stamps or the ink in that kit, but you will get all the instructions and stuff to make those projects. So you can actually substitute anything you've got at home for the stamps and stuff that were actually mentioned in the instructions. So that's really, really cool. So you can actually, so you get to do 12 projects. There'll be a few challenges if you want to partake in them. All the goodies that I would give to all of my guests that attend my retreats, you'll get as well. So there's my designer series paper, there's embellishments, there's ribbon, so many different things. Little placard with your initial on it, usually a name tag. What else? There's so much stuff that I give. So it's well worth more than $145 that goes into your box. So I'd love to, 3 more people. That'd be great. I'd love that. But today I thought I'm going to take a step away from card making and I'm going to go to some scrapbooking today. So I thought I would show you one of the kits that Stampin' Up! Have, the scrapbooking workshop kits, and that is the Keeping Traditions scrapbooking workshop kit. Now this one actually goes really beautifully with the Traditions of Christmas suite. Stampin' Up! Have got a class that they're actually doing, in a virtual class that they're doing next Friday, Friday next week, that yes, you can purchase. So it's $53 Australian if you want to purchase that, and then you can actually purchase the Traditions of Christmas suite. There is one thing that's missing, that's the embellishments that are actually missing from that. So you could order everything else, and then you can order the embellishments later. But you can always substitute something else for that anyway. But that's next week. So if you want to do that, I do have a link in the comments where you could actually, where you can go and order some of the products that I'm using today. And then on YouTube and on my blog, I'll actually have the link to the class as well. So I think I may have already advertised on my blog already. So stampinwithsharon.com.au, and you can have a look at that. Anyway, I thought I would have a look at some scrapbooking. So let's go change my camera. There we go. All right, so we've got the Keeping Traditions kit. So let's pull this one out. As always, we have our trusty instructions. And I'm going to chop it all down and put it into my little pile. So I'm going to have 3 piles of stuff to cut. And then we'll see how far we get in relation to assembling. So we've got all our papers. So they're the two. They're 2. So you've got Secret Sea, you've got Old Olive, Real Red, Pool Party, Cherry Cobbler, or is it Cherry Cobbler or Real Red? Ooh, that's a good question. What is it? Oh, I forgot my Wink of Stella. Wonder if Lizzie will get it for me. Cherry Cobbler it is. Old Olive and Cherry Cobbler. There we go. And some beautiful specialty papers as well. Oh, and now my washing machine is all uneven, so it's going to beep at me the whole time unless I go and fix it. Isn't that a bit frustrating? If only my daughter was just upstairs listening to me and could actually come down and fix it for me. I think I'm going to have to go and fix it myself. Oh, dear. Hang on a second. I can hear it beeping away, and you'll hear it in a minute when I open the door. Beep, beep, beep. Sorry about that. I really shouldn't have put it on, should I? Oh well. Oops. Oh dear. Oh my days. Let's put you there. Okay. Am I still live? Yes. There we go. I'm still good. Okay. All right. Let's get started on some chopping. Where am I? There we go. These ones. All right. So I'm going to set aside those pieces. We've got our little place cards, our photo mats. I might just keep them out. I might use them today. All right, we're going to be using this one first. So we've got 2 sheets of that. Put my trimmer in. So we have, this way, we're going to do 4.5 inches. So let's do our first cut, 4.5 inches. And then we've got 4 inches. I did change my blade. And then we've got 9.5 inches on this one. So these 2 are both for number 3. So I'm going to start number 3 over this side. And then we have this one. Now this is actually 4 inches. Oh, that's going to be 3.5, isn't it? Oh, yes, it is. That's 3.5. So I can't use that one. Shame. All right, we're going to go lines the same way again. So we're going to do 5 inches. By 10 on this piece, and this is for scrapbook page number 1. So I'll do number 1 there, and then we've got 4 inches by 8. And this is number 3. All right, so that's those 2 papers done. Flip over. And I'm just going to put these away at the same time so that I don't get myself muddled. All right, so with Secret C, want this one, and we'll do one of them next. So this one, I don't think this matters which way we go. So let's start with 7.5 inches. And then rotate, and we're going to chop it 5. And that's page 3. And we rotate again, and we have 4.5. And this should be 3. Yes, excellent. And then this one is 6.5 inches. So right there. Oops. And that's page 2. And then we've got the 3 by 7. So we want to make this 6 inches. And that's going to be pages 3 as well. Yep. Throwing the paper around. All right. We've got our florally pattern. Now this one, which way does it go? It goes that way. So this is 9.5 inches by 9. What was that one? Oh, that's my leftover. Don't want that one. 9.5 by 9. And that one is page 1. So 1, 2, 3. So then the second page, again we're going this way, I believe. Yes, this way. Because the lines are sort of going along this way. So we want 3 inches by 11 inches. And that's page 2. Hey Bev, how are you going? 3.25 inches we are. Let's go 3.25. By 3.25. And we're doing, oh, that doesn't look right. It's meant to be 3.25, not 3.5. Why did I do that? Try that again. Okay, that's better. Whoops. Let's go 3.25. Good thing they're the only 2 pieces I need to chop on. That's the rest of that one. So they're both number 1. Hang on. What was that one? I think that was excess. And then I have a piece of Pool Party. Where's my Pool Party? There we go. This one. Just a second. My deep washing machine's playing up again. I'm just going to turn that off. There we go. Okay, Pool Party. We want the dark side facing up. And we're going to do 6 inches. 6 by 10.5. And that's page 2. And then I have 4.25 by 1.5. So that should be 1.5. and I want 4 1/4. And that is page 3. And then I have a 6-inch left, and that's going to be 11 inches. And that's page 2. All right, flip. So we have our dark Secret C, which, there you go, that's the dark. We want 8 1/2 inches. And this is by 11. That's page 1. We've got our cherry cobbler. I'm not using a lot of that one, just using 1 inch. So I'm going to go from this side. And then that's 11 inches. And that is page 2. All right. Old Olive. This is 8 inches by 11. And that's page 1. And White Willow. This one. So we're doing 3 1/4 inches. So let's make sure I get that right. 3 1/4 inches. And then we're chopping it 4 1/4 twice. So 4 1/4. 4 1/4, and then 3 1/4. And they're all page 3. And then I want 3 1/4 again, and we're going to do page 1. These 3 are all for page 1. And they're all 3 1/4. And then we have 3 1/2 inches. So once you get all your pieces chopped, there's just a bit of assemblage going on. 3 1/2, which goes to page 3. And then we've got 3 1/4. By 3 1/4, and that's page 2. So I think I've got one more to do. Yes, one more, White Willow. So I have 3 1/4. By 4 1/4. 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. And then 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. So that's page 3. They're both page 2. And then this last one is what, 6 1/4 inches. This is where I always get a bit concerned. I think it's that one. That one there. 3 1/4. 6 1/4, sorry. So 6 1/4 by 4 1/4. And 4 1/4. They're both page 1. And then let's go 3 1/4. by 3 1/4. There we go. That is it. All right, page 3. Let's start. So I did forget my Wink of Stella, I believe. Oh, no, I didn't. Oh, I have it here. Yay. Excellent. I do have my Wink of Stella. All right. So we have this one, this sheet, and then we have that. So they're the 2 pages for Christmas. So we're doing a Christmas double page layout. And we're doing number 1. So we're going to move them there. The photo mats, what have I got? So they're 3 1/4. Oh, hang on, wrong ones. There you go. Photo mats, there we go. So it's looking like 3 3 by 3. Those ones. And then I think it's those 2. 4 by 6. Yes. All right. What do we have? So we work on the first page first. So we have these 2 pieces together. And we're going to use those 3 by 3 pieces there. And those 3. And then that one and that one. I think they are for the other page. All right. So this one looks like a fairly easy one. So we're just adhering the secret C underneath the old olive, like that. And then a layer on there. And then we've got our squares to go on. And then there's another die cut in there, I'd say. So there's the sticker sheet. And then the so this one looks like. So I'm doing that one. On the back, it usually tells you which ones you're using as well. You've got project 1, project 1, project 1, project 1. Got little flags. One, and 1. That's all for project 1 on this one. Yep, okay, so they're all project 1. So that looks like I'm using one of them. Using that one. Then I'll look at the adhesive sheets in a minute. Okay, so that one's going to be going on there. So let's start with the bits for the squares. So we have that one and that one. And then we've got these 3 there. So do we have... Morning, Kathy. How are you? Good to see you pop in. Okay, so the other flag is there, and then there's those 2 are together. And that flower's there. Where's the other flower? Got 3. Oh, it's up here. There we go. That's where the other flower is, right there. Okay. So we have Oh What Fun. Let's start with this one. Oh What Fun. And then we have one of our adhesive pieces. Out there. This one we might pop up on a dimensional. Well, thanks for joining. I appreciate you joining. That one there. Okay, so that's that one done. This one we want a little 12. I'm just going to put a 12 there. And then this one looks like that one's going to go get glued on. Looking forward to next Friday though, Kathy, aren't we? My retreat. And we'll glue these bits on. That one's going to sit sort of sitting out a bit. And then we've got our 19. We also have our little flower, which I think I'm just going to use glue. And then Making Merry was our sentiment. So just like that. So those three are done. Oop, make sure we don't stick them down. I'm not sure when I'm going to start packing yet. I need to start. I've got a fair bit to pack. All right, let's glue these two down. So one of the things you could do if you don't like having so much cardstock underneath and you want to make your pages lighter, you can actually cut out part of that and use that for something as well. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to stick with the schedule and glue down. There we are, I think. And then this one's about 1 7/8. So I did have, here's my little, here we go. I got my little square. So I want to do 1 7/8, it's saying. About there. And down by 1/2 inch. About there. Okay. So I can do that. That's about there. And then you've got 5/8 of an inch from the side. So what do I want to use? Hang on. Yep. 1, 2, 3. There we go. That one there. Just working out which one's which. That's all I'm doing. 5/8 of an inch and down by 3/8 of an inch. So 1, 2, 3. So about there. Okay. About there. I'm going gluing. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going up by a third. Okay. A third? Can't be a third. 3/8. Must be 3/8 again. Because then that one can pop right in the center. Out there. Yep. Okay. 1, 2, 3. About there. Oh, you're not seeing it, are you? Sorry. Move it up a bit. And then I have this one, which is going to go in at the center. There and there. There we go. So that's those ones. And then so still have another flower to go there. Or is it not? Hang on. Oh, maybe it is. Maybe that needs to go onto this page. Oh, let's work it out. And they want 1/4 of an inch in between. So drop that down a bit. So the Oh What Fun is first. And then this one's in the center. And then at the base. All right, so I've got them, and then I still need the flower. So I think I want to bring this one up a bit. I might pop that up on some dimensionals. And I want to make sure that the pieces that are going to be over the photo are definitely not glued down. So I've got some dimensionals on there, and I want to pop it over there, but I want to make sure that's not going to stick down. And then we have our other flower, which I'll pop up on a dimensional. And that's actually saying it's sort of here, but I'm going to pop it up on top of the flower. So that's page number 1. I believe that's all for page number 1. Yay! 1 page down. So let's get on to page 2. So this one, I thought we had a flower there, but we don't. No, because it's actually this one they're doing. There you go. All right, let's move. Oh, my photo mats, I forgot them. So I'm just going to glue these down so I know where the photos are going to go. And I'm just putting a small amount of adhesive in the center. Not a lot, just a small amount. So you've got your page done. Morning, Lizzie. This is the flowery scrapbook page.
Oh, that's so pretty. I should have gotten that one.
Say hi to Lizzie.
Hi. I should have gotten this one. I like this one.
You can still get it. Lizzie joined Stampin' Up as well.
Maybe this one should be my formal one. I like this one.
You like this one?
Yeah.
We could change it to not being Christmassy.
Oh, it's a Christmas.
It is a Christmas one. Yes. Okay. Bye. See you later. Okay, we've got this one. I will. So we want to put. Oh no, that's going over the top. Okay, that one goes there. That one goes over the top. All right. So we have our florally piece that is 1¼ inches and 1½ inches down. So 1¼ inches. Hey Sam, how are you? 1¼ What am I doing? 1¼ About there. Yep. Okay. Um, 1¼ inches down. About there. That doesn't seem right. It's 1½ inches down. Hang on. Hold, please. Just gotta try and pull this back up again. A good way to get your page in the right spot is actually to get it in the right spot. 1¼ inches. But if you stuff up, you just sort of heat it with your huff on it to get some of the glue to soften. We're doing 1½ inches down. Oops. It's going to be crooked. There we go. Shh, pretend it's straight. And then, how far over is that one? 3½ inches. So we've got our 3½. 3½. Okay. And it's going to be 1 inch from the top. So it's about there. Oh, there's a fly. Go away, fly. 1 inch. Okay. That's done. Then we've got our 2 photo places. So there and there. That looks about straight. Looks about right. Glue them down. Just going to use my eye and hope that it's straight. Okay, and then our photo mats, might as well put them on now. We have a little flower that's going to go there. We have a little bit that goes in there, so I'm just going to do glue on the bottom part of that. I can slip that underneath. That's not on top of the photo. Oh, so this is where it gets a bit tricky because some of these are actually on the photos as well, which makes it a bit harder because you sort of don't want to have them stuck down to the photo. You want to have them slightly off. So, I think what I might do is, I might actually raise them a bit and have them on this piece, maybe. Or actually, hang on. That's meant to be underneath the photo. If I do it there, then I might actually do a bit of glue just at the top there. Just, so not on the photo, but just above it. over a bit. So that still sits up, so we can actually put our photo underneath. Same with this one. I just want a tiny bit of glue at the top. And then we have our sticker, which again is going to be a dimensional one, so that it stays up. And I can actually pop that right in between the two photo sections. And then we have our flower, which I'll put glue on just the left side of that one. So that can sit underneath. And underneath the adhesive. And then I have a strip that needs to go across this way, which is that one. It doesn't actually go all the way across, but I think I like I would like it to. Now the problem with this one is that that's all sticky. This is all sticky, this bit. So I'm just going to use my pants, my jean shorts, just to make it less sticky. Not a bit more. Hopefully you can see some of the fuzz on that. It's still a tiny bit sticky, but we're going to leave it there. Hopefully that will be okay. Yeah, I should still be able to stick the photo right underneath that. I can still lift that up. And then we've got All Is Calm and Bright. And again, we've got the bottom bit, which I want to keep sticky, but the top bit is where you need your embossing buddy, just to put a bit of powder and stuff on there so it doesn't stick down. But we're just gonna risk it and go like that, and just try and keep that up a bit. And then we have another little flower, our adhesive flower. I'm actually going to keep that off the page this time, so I'm going to put it there instead. And I think so. There'll be actually little some words there, but I don't think we've got anything for that one. Oh yes, we do. We do. We have a date. There we go. So I can just put the little adhesive on there, and then that is it for that page. So yay! So does it say embellish with pre-cut pieces and stickers as shown using Stampin' dimensionals on some of the pieces indicated by drop shadows? Oh, where are the drop shadows? I can't see them on that page. Who knows? That's all right. I just make it up as I go along. So there you go. Pages number 1. That's good. All right. Page number 2. Let's see if we can move this along at a bit of a quicker pace. We've got page 2, and we've got the 2. Oh, those ones. No. What's that one? And that one. Oh, this is where the Wink of Stella comes in. Ah, okay. Well, let's assemble first, and then we can look at Wink of Stella. So we have these pieces. We have that one, and that's going to glue right there. So let's start with that. And then we have our adhesive strip. Which isn't going to go from top to bottom. So I just need to trim that one. Right there. And then, which piece is it? Oh, it's not that one. It's this one. Yes. Okay. I think maybe there's a way for this to go. I don't know. That's all right. Let's work with what we've got. I think, yeah, I think there's actually a way that this paper's meant to go. Or is there? It's hard to tell. They look the same. There's some that that has the leaves a bit more prominent though, I think. Sorry. Let's glue this down. So we're going 2 inches from the top and 3/4 of an inch from the side. So 3/4 of an inch from the side and 2 inches from the top. So there. And then we have, what else have I got? I've got this, where is that? I've got to get all the adhesive, these bits. Okay, so project 2. This might be a bit of a longer video today, sorry. Hope that's okay. Lots of scallop pieces. Project 2, 2, 2. Okay. There's a fly. Okay, there for page 3. So that's all those bits out, done. 2. There's a lot of pieces for 2. Oh, I missed one. Oh, that was project 1. Whoops. Whoopsie. I have to find where that's meant to go. That one. I'm just pulling out 3 as well, just to get them out of the paper. All right, this one. So not that, not that. It's going to be that one. that one. Flower. And then, was there a second adhesive sheet or just the one? What am I missing? Oops. I'm missing leaves, but I didn't think I had them. Oh, they're upside down. There we go. All right. Upside down, Miss Jane. All right. I'm getting there. Truly, I am. So I want to do the scallop is going to be 4 3/4 of an inch up. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to be about there. Hang on. Let's wing it. Go there. And that one can go there. I think that one goes that way actually. There we go. And then we have our photo mats. It'll be there and there. What's on the other photo? Oh, we've got 2 big ones and one big one and a small one. Okay. There we go. December goes on that one. That's going to sit there. I may not do the Wink Stella at this point. That one's going to sit there. It seems like it's actually butted up against the white. And then we've got our little Making Magic, deck the halls, and trim the tree. So, Making Magic. Deck the halls, trim the tree, and our number 1. And then we also have our most wonderful time of the year sticker. And again, I don't want it to stick onto the photos, which I probably should just get my little photo mat, shouldn't I? Hopefully that's not going to stick down. Not going to stick onto the photos anyway. And then we have these guys, which are going to come down here. that one there. That one's going to go about there. And then we've got our bow, which we might, should we pop on the dimensionals? I think pop up on dimensionals, yes. Just going to use up some of my dimensional edges. And so then what they've actually got is they've actually used Wink Stella to colour in some of the leaves. So to do that, I think if you squeeze your stamp pad, you get some ink on there. And I assume what they've done is they've just picked up a tiny bit of the ink and then just coloured that in. Which I'm not going to do right now just because time is a bit against me. So you can see that's the idea of what they've actually done. I say I'm not going to do any more, but here I am doing a bit more colouring. But you get the idea. So that's page number 2A. So let's move to this one. And again, you've got a bit more colouring, so I'm going to flip this one around this time. There's a few. Oh, hang on. Which way do I want to go? I think that way, because I think there's a couple of leaves there. There. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll bring this one down this way. So we're not going right to the edge. We're just sort of leaving a bit of a gap at the bottom. And then we have our scallops. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a bit of glue, liquid glue, and just bring in, oh, where are you? There we go. Because I don't want to ruin my page, I'm actually just going to bring in a bit of grid paper so that I don't put glue all over my page, because that way I can actually just layer these up. Oops. Rather than doing it straight on the page, I'll do it on grid paper. Just a thin bit at the top, and then you can layer the scallop on top. So one of the tricks with liquid glue is you can actually let this sort of dry for a tiny bit, and then it sort of becomes a bit more tacky, but you can still, yeah, you can still, it still sticks and stays. But it means that there's no glue sort of running out the sides. But I do try and use minimal glue when I'm using my Tombow. Okay, that's that one. See, so that's that's why I used the grid paper, because it was sticking. So I want to grab my strip. This strip. How close? I need to trim it. I'm just going to use the other piece that I cut off as my guide. and pop that in the center. About there, I think. And then we have this piece. That's not straight. Yep. This piece is going to go over the top. So we can put some glue on this one now. I'm going to go about there. And then I can put my, which way do I want to go? Which is the light one, which is the dark one? That's the light, so I'm going to go dark facing up. I didn't really want to go, oh yes I did. I thought I needed to cut it off, but I don't. There you go. And then we have our little deck the halls. Oh, I want this one. This is my photo mat. I want that one probably about there. Let's go a bit further over. Up there. And our photo mat, photo placeholder. That's it about there. And then we also have this one, which overlaps. So I think this is going to be a dimensional piece. Oh, I don't want them right on the edge, do I? Okay. I've just taken it slightly off the edge so that it doesn't interfere with the other photo. Let's go about there. I know you're meant to see the other scallop underneath, but you know, not today. Okay, so we have our fa la la, which is dimensional. I'm going to say, yep, that side. We have our deck the halls, which is just going to go straight down. You got home for the holidays. And again, the home, underneath the home, I don't want sticky. But I'm going to pop it up on dimensionals as well. Got that one. Oh, that's project one, wasn't it? Yeah, that's one. This one's 2 dimensional out there. I've got another flower somewhere, which I don't know where that is. Not on my paper. Oh, there they are. They were hiding. All right, so this one, I'm going to just do the edge. And I'm going to put a dimensional on the edge, or half a dimensional on the edge of this banner, so it can stick up and be off the page. And then I can put a 3 on that one. almost done of this one. What was I missing? The flower, this one. A dimensional on this one. So again, you can colour in the flowers or the leaves. You could actually do some of the flowers. You could do that in cherry cobbler. You can do some of these flowers in cherry cobbler as well. I think that's it for that page, apart from the colouring. So that's page number 2. 2A and B. Obviously, I've done a bit of colouring on this one, but I haven't finished it, so I might finish that a bit later. Not right now. You don't need to see that. And then pages 3A and B. Let's get moving on this one. So these two, that's these ones. So we have our photo mats. So I'm thinking it's going to be those two on the first page. Yes, it is. Okay. So those two on the first page. And then I have, oh, hang on. Oh, those three. Here we go. Yes, that one. All right. There. We've got that. So they're the pieces. We've got the shorter piece. And then I've got the wider piece with that one. There you go on the other page. Okay. So on the bottom here, we've actually got some dots and stuff. So I think what they've done on this one, let's get my grid paper again, just in case. So we've got our ink still. So it's saying create a splatter pattern on the base pages using Old Olive's Stampin stamp pad and Wink of Stella brush. With the lid of the ink pad closed, squeeze the pad to transfer the ink, which is what I did earlier. Open the pad, then squeeze a small amount of liquid from the Wink of Stella. Okay, so let's do a bit of squeezing of the Wink of Stella. Oh, don't have much in that one. You could probably do this with water too. I don't have much in that one either. Oh, no. I think my Wink of Stellas are empty. Oh, what have I got? I don't know. Oh, I know. So I've got my Old Olive blends, so let's use that. So yes, you could use your Wink of Stella, but you know what? I don't have that on me, like no ink in that. So that's a bit easier to do too. Huh? So you've got, we have our ink. So that's probably the easiest way to do ink rather than mucking around with a Wink of Stella, quite frankly. All right. Sometimes you just need to improvise. What have I got? I have, I think I need that one, not that one, that one. I need these two flower bits, I think. No, not that one. This one. No. Yes. I need those two. Yes, those two. Not that one. I need the pink one. That. Not that. Not that. Stripy one. Yes, I need that. Okay. I think they're for the second one. So we have this piece here, which looks longer than what I think it should be, but that's okay. We have this one, so we might glue that one down onto our pool party piece. That sort of goes to the bottom. And then you've got the 25 in there. And then we have Traditions. It's going to sit over the top of that. Something like that. And then we have Christmas. It's going to sit, oops. It's going to sit underneath that. Hang on. We've got our Christmas, so let's put that one, nope, out there, I think. There. And then our Wink of Stella. No, what is it? Seal. Ah, crikey me. Okay, that part is done. Let's do the bottom part, this one. So if I'm looking at the picture, rather than measuring, I can see I've got 2 clear lines down there for that one. But here I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 4. Okay, so we're about there, I think. They're about, oops, they're about there. Get that one out of the way. So I'm just going to keep my finger there so I remember. We're about there. And then this one is going to sit out there. Yeah, this is a bit of a long video. Sorry, people. One's going to sit about there. And then this one, going to sit out there. And we're going to get our little ho 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 out with our little banner piece. And that's going to sit underneath. Like that. And then we have our leaves, which I think these are all going to be dimensionaled. So I don't want to put any dimensionals underneath the flower itself, but probably more on the ends. I'm just going to put them on the ends of those sections. Oh, one. Oh, I need my placeholder, don't I? That one. Placeholder. Placeholder. And because I haven't got any dimensionals under there, I can slip my photo right underneath. So that's good. And this one, again, just on the edges, just on the leaf ends. Still got one more page. So lots of space there. We have our flower there, which I'm just going to use seal, because that's going to, the other one's going to keep it popped up enough. This one can just be some seal, because this is off the page a bit. We have our joy and our merry and bright. So I think merry and bright, I think it probably could have moved over a tiny bit more, but that's okay. Oh, I just realised that one meant to go underneath over here. And it's meant to pull out. Oh, wow. Whoopsie. That's not pulling out now, is it? That's what happens when you don't read the instructions properly. Oh, it can't. I think it might. Hang on. Let's pull that dimensional off. No, it's stuck down a bit too much, I think. Where's it? Nah, that's not going to fit on that one. That was a bit of a stuff up, wasn't it? That's okay. Let's do our little joy here. And then I've got our merry and bright. I think it's actually, I'm going to put it down here instead. I wonder, can I put it in there? I don't think I can. I stuck it down too well. No, we're going to leave it like that. That's page 3A. Let's go with 3B. Maybe we can make it happen on this one. So again, we're going to get our blend out and just do a bit of blend ink. There we go. 2 corners. All right, this one, we're going top to bottom on this one. Yeah, I think we can make it work on this. There we go. And we'll do our, whoops, not those ones, these ones. These are our photo mats. So I'm going to wing it. Okay, our 3x3 photos are in. This one, I'm going to glue that one down. Remember when? And then we have our big photo here. So I'm not going to glue this down straight away, so I can actually make sure I've got the right thing. So I can do my little pull out. All right, so I've got my photos. That is actually going to sit underneath there. So I'm going to use just seal on that. Where do I want that? I want that there. Probably about there. All right, so, but because I want to do the pull out, I need to have space for it to pull out, right? So I'll have it, I'm going to have it there. And so I just want to put glue there, there, and probably there. So that is still going to be able to pull out fairly easily and push back in again. So, bit of a save. My little date here. And glue on the back. So, we'll pop that one there. So we've got to remember when we've got best time of the year. Which we can just put straight down here. And then we've got a little 25 and there's a little banner, this one. Which, oh, it doesn't go that way. Hang on. I'm going to stick it slightly over the where I ripped it. Accidentally ripped that banner. Let's put that there. And then we want to put, oh, it's going to be too big there. There. We'll put some dimensionals down the center here. Let's just use a bit of a strip of dimensionals. So I'm wanting that. Thanks, Kathy. It was a bit of a save. Probably want that about there, I think. I think that could be it. Ah, it is. There we go. Okay, so 3. So we've got a little pull out on this page rather than this page. It's probably a bit better on this page anyway, just because I feel like this has actually got a lot going on just in this section. And if you had another pull out there, I think that just maybe a bit too much. So that's my reasoning. Pages 2. And then I've got to find where the other, where this flower goes now. Because I missed a flower. Where's that flower going to go? So, oh, hang on, that's the wrong way. That goes that way. That goes up there. There we go. Okay, dimensional. So that flower goes there. Okay, done. Hoi, that was a bit of a marathon, really, wasn't it? 6 pages. I think this one is definitely one that you need to spend a bit more time on, I think, especially with some of the colouring on the next pages, on those pages. So you want to do some colouring on there with your Wink of Stella and stuff. Oh, but anyway, that is today's class. Oh, so I used the Keeping Traditions scrapbook workshop kit, and that's a fabulous kit. I love it. Like it looks easy, but in a lot of ways there's quite a bit involved in the kit. So, but yeah, nice little things that you could probably use on other scrapbook pages that you have as well, which would be good. Tonight I have a Stamper Stack and Sip class if anyone would like to join. Cost is $45 or free with a $60 order from me. But I have that today, and then also tomorrow at 10 till 12. It's the same class. So I've got 2. So 7:30 tonight or 10 o'clock tomorrow. So choose which one you'd like to join. Let me know. I'd love to have you join me. We're going to be doing some lovely Christmas cards. We'll be doing 8 Christmas cards, 2 each of 4 designs. So get your Christmas cards started. and bring along something to drink that you'd like. There will be tea, coffee, and hot chocolate and stuff available. But yes, if you'd like to join, that'd be lovely. That is all for today. Thank you so much. Next week, I do have my retreat. My plan is still to go live. It may be a kit because that would probably be easier with everything packed up and ready to go. But you will see me next week, and I will see what's in store for you next week. But I'll be having we've got our my weekend retreat, and it's all fully booked out. But as I said, I do have about 3 more retreat at home kits if you'd like to grab one of them. $145, more value than what you're actually paying. So it's a lot of fun. So I will see you again next week. So I hope you have a fabulous weekend, and I will see you next time. Bye.